The year was 2013 when I did this painting. This is one of my favorite paintings. I like the energy, I like the swirling motion. This painting broke whole new ground for me in how it was implemented. It's also a great example of fusioneering, where I'm combining reactions to colors and values to brushwork and how I layer the brushwork. So it's the technical being merged with the artistic. So the concept is from this coffee shop where I was fascinated with the swirling milk in the coffee. And every time I just looked at that cup when they gave me my coffee and I sat down to work with my notebook, I was just fascinated by that image, that abstract swirling. I just had this inspiration, wouldn't that be a great painting? But then the question is, how do you make it a painting, given what you see there? I realized that I needed to make a dynamic fluid simulator. Dynamic just means it changes with time. So I need to make a fluid simulator. So I had this empty fluid chamber. Then I had nozzles injecting fluid in, and you could control the amount of fluid, the force of the fluid, the volume, the location, the direction, and then they hit each other and they swirl around and you get these patterns. And then to make it more interesting, I added a piling, like a post in the water. And then at the bottom of the painting, I had this log to deflect the current. Then you just keep playing with these variables. So first you have to capture that energy. So think of all this swirling motion on the surface of my fluid simulator. So you capture that over time as it swirls and moves. And so that goes to data on the disk, but now you have to make brushstrokes out of that. So what kind of brushstroke, what kind of brush, what are the length of the brushstrokes, the density of the strokes, and then the color palette. For instance, adding these pinks really changed the whole painting around. So that was kind of a stroke of inspiration for me that actually worked out. I wanted this large, impactful, swirling energy, but the robot's working envelope isn't this big. I painted in force. I painted in quadrants, so the upper left and right and the lower left and right. And then I worked out an algorithm where you can't see any of the seams. The brushstrokes all blend together naturally. So when I see a fluid simulation that I like with the nozzles and the current and all that, and I capture that information, it's pretty much two-dimensional swirling data information. But then going back to traditional art techniques, I can make it look more three-dimensional. If you have the right background color, you mix that right, it'll sit behind all the colors that you paint on top of it. We're painting from back to front three-dimensionally, so all these dark colors are more distant than these lighter greens that are being painted on top of it. That's going to give you this three-dimensional look also. Another breakthrough for me was using a round brush, because I'm able to create all these beautiful curves. I like the fact that the robot's giving these beautiful little brush strokes, and then at the same time giving me these big, forceful brush strokes. It's a very rich environment. I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors in a 5-inch square interacting with each other in a fantastic way. All this energy and all this color and all this texture. One of the things that I love about this painting, it allows you a great opportunity to explore, and it really entertains the eye as you move around. One of the keys to a great painting is entertaining the eye. There's just not one center of interest, but you zero in on that and boom, you're done. You can wander all around and you look at all these fascinating brushstrokes here, then you go over here, and then you see these little guys here, and then you have all this swirling energy here, and you go up there and look at that, how it just kind of goes that way. It's just kind of like an infinite variety. I love it. There's 2,956 brushstrokes here. capturing all that energy coming from that original idea of the cup of cappuccino. It'll always be true that for me, the brushstroke is the heart and soul of painting. And to me, this is the epitome of it right there.